Jeff Probst asked 1 month ago, how long have you been playing jazz guitar?
6 years. No.
No, more.
Yeah, I've been playing guitar 11 years, and I started jazz, I think 2 years afterwards. So I'm playing 8 years. I started jazz guitar. Yeah.
Erno Metsola, 2 months ago, he says, nice exercises, I'm gonna steal some of them. Do you have any go-to book for those kind of scale sequences?
No. But I used to have, I just don't remember. I had the one from Ted Green or something, you know?
I have no idea.
But it was more for chords. For scale sequences, usually if I transcribe something, if I write something from a solo, then I take like a pattern and I just play it through a scale. So if it's like, for example, on Coltrane 1, 2, 3, 5, and then I just start on a different note from the scale.
Okay, next one. So 2 months ago, Ganzo says,
I heard some Wes Montgomery in that solo, specifically at 26 seconds. Was that Wes inspired? I think so. Was it maybe octaves? Then it's always Wes inspired.
Okay, the next one is from 3 months ago, from Aranja. Did you use Garson's triadic chromatic approach for this one?
Well, no. I think that's a lick that I stole from Pat Martino, where he plays a triplets triad thing. But it's not, I don't know Garciones.
Next one, also 3 months ago, Chris Person 94 asks, what's that under the saddles? Love your playing, by the way. And it refers to the Pascual Grosso video. Yeah,
that was during the lockdown, during the quarantine, and I could not go and fix my guitar because the action was too low on the Stratocaster. So I put pieces of paper under the saddle so that the strings would be a bit higher. I think a month or so ago I went to the shop of the guy who made that guitar, and he had like a plaque machine to fix everything, and now it's perfect, so I don't have the papers anymore.
Yeah, it was a DIY solution.
Yes.
Okay, next one is Lucas. He asked 4 months ago, what is the common approach to the open triads? This method of alt pick or hybrid picking? Hybrid seems a little bit easier though.
Yes, but with hybrid picking, you don't lock as much rhythm-wise than with alternate picking, because with alternate picking you just go up and down. Then you can feel like all the subdivisions much better, which is the point of doing these exercises for me, is that then I can play it clearly rhythmically. And if I do it hybrid, I could play it faster, but then it would be a different technique just for that thing. And the thing for me, if I practice technique, is just so that when I play any situation, this can do as many situations as possible. Okay,
the next one is again from Chris Person 94, and he asked, how does the Stratocaster compare to the Gretsch?
How do you know what the Stratocaster is?
Because I live with a musician.
Well, it's different. The Gretsch is more heavy, and it was also a cheap model, so it was not as clear when I played, but I had to make it work. The Stratocaster is much easier to play, but it's also difficult in a way because it's a very light instrument, it's very sensitive, so every small movement that you make, you can hear it right away.
Next one is from AndroidGamePlays for everyone. And it refers to the part 1 of Paganini's Caprice 16, and he's asking, do you have tabs?
Everyone asks tabs on my videos because that's what guitar players want. They just want tablature.
But I guess that if you're also a musician, you should learn also how to read sheet music, right? Because otherwise it's more kind of a hobby than investing the time to really have it as a main thing.
But there was a lot of professional musicians back then that didn't know how to read, and nowadays too. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a professional musician just because you can read.
No, of course not, but I guess that if you want to have it as a main thing, you should not be like waiting for someone else to make tabs from something. I mean, I think that you should invest some time. Of course, there's gonna be it's gonna take time to learn and everything, but I mean, at some point I think it's quite useful, and also to be able to write down your own song.
Yeah, so that when you play with other musicians, you have the sheet music. That's an advantage. The best would be a combination of both, but you can always do that for yourself.
Well, here we have another person asking the same for tabs. And then we have Emil Peter, who's asking, where is the transcription? I mean, he's asking related to the George Benson weekend in LA.
I just do it by ear and play. That one I also don't have it written down at all, not even sheet music.
There's Beach Slapped Me. Okay, 2 days ago. Okay, this one is in Portuguese. So, you go.
Yeah, so some people comment in Portuguese, which is fine, because I play, like sometimes I play Brazilian music or I play Portuguese music. It's nice to have a multi-language comments. Yeah. So now I'm going to read in Portuguese. Muito gira esta. Como é que fizeram para praticar? Vocês estão live ou ao mesmo tempo? Ou foram gravando e mandando uns aos outros? So he's asking, he says it's really nice, I say thank you. He's asking, how did you do it to practice it? Were you live or at the same time, or did you record it and send it to the others? The second one. So we recorded ourselves separate. I recorded first, and then I sent it to them, and then the drums I think recorded, and then the bass added later. But it doesn't matter, it can be anyone first, and then we add on and add on. But there's other ways to do it. Usually live doesn't work because of the feedback from the network, so it's not correct synced. So usually we have to record it first and then we send.
Yeah, the delay.
And then I have a video editing software, and then I can put everything together, and they too. So in Portuguese that would be a segunda gravados separadamente. See, much shorter too.
Yes. And that's the last question you had.
You have a question for me?
I think you should say how many hours you practice, because that's also really important if someone wants to play it like you, to know that they are gonna put a lot of effort in it.
I practice at least 4 hours every day. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes I have to play less, but I try to do 4 hours every day at least.
Counting weekends and holidays.
Mm-hmm. But some people are talented, so then they don't have to practice as much.
Well, I think it's to reach a level every day that you are comfortable with, that you think it's enough.
Yeah, if you feel happy, like then if you play and it's fine, then you don't have to practice as much, that's fine. Thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your questions. Feel free to ask more questions, and we'll do this again.